This is page 6 of Acuity Science Form B. These are questions 30 through 35. I'm going to go ahead all the way to the end. So these are pages 13, 14, and 15. These are questions 30 through 35. Number 30. Remember to answer on your strip of paper. Do not write on the test. 30. Which of these is true of a chemical change? A. The mass of the products will be exactly half the mass of the reactants. B. The mass of the products will be less than the mass of the reactants. C. The mass of the products will be more than the mass of the reactants. Or D. The mass of the products will be the same as the mass of the reactants. Which of those is true for a chemical change? 31. Look at this diagram of two sound waves. So, sound 1 is the lighter colored wave. It has the same pattern as sound 2, which is the darker colored wave, but sound 1 is a taller wave. The question is, how does sound 1 compare to sound 2? A. Sound 1 is louder than sound 2. B. Sound 1 is quieter than sound 2. C. Sound 1 has a lower pitch than sound 2. Or D. Sound 1 has a higher pitch than sound 2. Question 32. Why is Gregor Mendel considered the father of modern genetics? A. He determined the structure of DNA. B. He identified patterns of inherited traits. C. He developed the theory of natural selection. Or D. He produced the first recombinant DNA molecules. Why is Gregor Mendel considered the father of modern genetics? Go ahead and go on to question 33. Prior to the 17th century, scientists thought that objects in motion must experience a constant force to keep them in motion. Which of these corrected this belief? A. The laws of friction. B. The law of universal gravitation. C. Inertia, as described by the first law of motion. Or D. Acceleration, as described by the second law of motion. Question 34. The population of white-tailed deer in a local state park is estimated to be 15,000. The annual growth rate is 2%. If the growth rate remains constant, about what will be the population of white-tailed deer after 10 years? You're going to need to work this problem out. You cannot use a calculator, but you can do some estimates on the back of your white sheet and then use that to find the right answer. Remember to check to make sure that your answer makes sense. So, if the population of deer is 15,000 and the annual growth rate is 2%, what will the population be after 10 years? Is it A, 3,000? Is it B, 15,300? Is it C, 18,300? Or is it D, 150,000. Go ahead and go on to the last question, question 35. An oscilloscope is a tool that represents a wave in the form of an electronic signal. It shows the voltage of a wave as a function of time. A student uses an oscilloscope to observe the graph of the wave shown. What is the frequency of the wave? Is it A, 0.5 hertz? Is it B, 1 hertz? Is it C, 2 seconds? Or is it D, 10 volts? So as you look at the graph, you can see that there's a wave. It's going from about 0 to about 2 seconds. There's another wave that goes from about -2 seconds to 0. So if it takes the wave 2 seconds to get there, what is the frequency of the wave? This ends your multiple choice. Once you've double-checked your work, made sure that you've answered every question, raise your hand. The teacher will bring you the constructed response, and you'll turn in your multiple choice or enter it on clickers, depending on what day it is. Thanks.